Welcome to something completely inevitable. As you all know, I'm not the biggest fan of GG Sports, and obviously there's other games and stuff in there too. But that's for rant hating, and that's where the bulk of the main rants are going. But this ain't even a rant as much as just everything colliding into this. This is just simply I'm just too quote unquote adult now to be having enough fun to really warrant playing video games that much anymore. There's a lot of things that go into that, and probably quite a few of them I've touched on for previous videos, like GT Sport. Penalty system being broken, so a lot of races that were fun to just race with other people in general got ruined from penalties, and thus not making it a good experience when the racing itself was. But penalties are in that, and then the NBA 2K19 whole thing of it just being a random number generator cast grab, and honestly, GT Sport, like, it's daily roulette and all that's random number generator, and then microtransactions forever more becoming a cash grab, and all that's basically meaning that I'm getting busier with college and all that, and I'm about done. Next year is my senior year, so that's getting all that much closer to like internships and truly really thinking about how I'm gonna like start working and all that, and not just preparing learning stuff to do. So like earlier in college, I don't have the most time or energy in the world right now either. And energy in college, for a lot of people, that's honestly just having some fun in college. But I'll go to a video on that in the future, more about my personal life. I just don't think it's a good idea to do that now, but that'll probably come sooner or later in the future, and that's kind of gonna be an even more depressing video than this, but I guess do this first and go from there. I'll just say this now for college. I'm probably doing about 5 or so hours of homework a night, with obviously going to classes and all that too. So ultimately, that doesn't leave me much free time. And whatever free time I have, by the time I'm done with everything, I'm just too tired to do anything. I don't think I stay up much later than like 10:30 at night. So it's honestly kind of ironic too, because I attempted to actually live stream this, but then YouTube went all stupid and oriented the camera the wrong way, so I quit that quickly on and started that about 11, but that's because of extenuated circumstances. Actually, I don't have my first class officially tomorrow because it's studying for an exam that'll be later on, but blah blah blah, that's not important. The important bit is just in general, mixed with not having much energy being in college, and mixed with not having much want to continue through circumstances I have discussed on the channel before. It's just probably old isn't truly really the right word, but I don't know what else better to use. Now that I'm an adult, I just don't have the time, energy, or fun factor anymore of games. Even this fun factor point. Like when I was a kid, I had fun playing Gran Turismo 4, just driving certain cars around certain tracks. Like, I'm probably not even kidding. I probably drove the Dodge Ram around Swiss Alps, and Viper for that matter too. Probably over 1,000 miles just driving it around that track. I had fun driving at Swiss Alps and like the Dodges, and that was cool. And NBA 2K11, I just downloaded miscellaneous people's rosters and see what they did, and I had fun with all of those combinations. Making all that mostly playing offline. But now that there's online, probably in general, I just play video games more now. But I'd say I play video games probably 90% of the time online now. It's ultimately just leads to the competitive aspect. That seems to be the point of modern video games more than anything now, is make the games more competitive and make it feel like people are competing for a tangible thing. Ultimately, that's more of a cash grab than anything, because that tangible thing costs a lot of money, whether it's paying it directly for the game or not, to get there. I'd say even GG Sport, if you don't even spend a cent on microtransactions to get as good as you possibly can, you have to buy a wheel, and you have to practice. Let's be honest, thousands of hours with that wheel. I don't really have those thousands of hours anymore, and I don't have the money for a wheel. Even if I did have the time, I don't really think I'd have the energy to cope with it, which again, that'll be a future video. And I've gotten as competitive as I can get, and again, I'm very much happy with some of the results I've gotten, but I mean, that's the thing. I've gotten to my peak of the mountaintop, and I've seen all there is to see, and blah blah blah, and I've done more than I figured I ever could with this, and now I'm just kind of feeling done in general. I don't think I can get higher than I've gotten before, because I'm just running out of time. Literally and figuratively, and again, that'll be a future video. I'm not gonna act like either that I haven't had fun in modern games. Probably individual milestones have been some of the most fun in modern games. Mostly racing, really. Like Drive Club, the first time that I got a world record in that game. Probably by now, I'm not even kidding, I probably have like at least 30 world records in Drive Clubs for various car track combinations, some with drift, some with sprint event. I think I might have even gotten one for the motorcycle stunt thing that I can't remember the name of it anymore, but whatever. With GG Sport, this stuff I just discussed firsthand on the channel, like doing the FI races against some of the very best drivers, whether they're the top 21st Superstars race or that kart race where I had the Beavis and Butthead helmet, and that was cool, but individual instances don't make an entire game fun anymore. I pretty much always had fun playing Gran Turismo 4. There was never really a dull moment. It may have just been my naive kid self, and to an extent I realized it kind of was, because nowadays playing offline just feels boring, but then nowadays there just wasn't really online, so I would have had what I had, and would have been forced to like it even if I was older. So yeah, I guess I can't always just go back and play more Gran Turismo 4 and try to relive my days of being a child more, and it's not like I don't particularly do that. I still have a PS2 and it's still like there. I can play it when I have time to, which is very rarely, but then there's the keeping up with the competitive aspect. If I just completely abandon it, who knows if I can ever get back to how I am now. And like I've said before too, how I am now is kind of worse than, well, I've been. I don't want to quit. It's going to be harder than even now to get back to where I am now. And who knows if I can even get back to where I was. Honestly, I don't have much confidence in it. So, once I do quit, there probably ain't going to be much going back, really. And once I ain't going back anymore, it's just... that's probably it. Over the summer, obviously, I'll just have more energy by the fall to be done with college, and then obviously have more time by the fall to be done with college, but still, that doesn't necessarily mean the content is good, which I've discussed before. I'm not going to go too much into detail here. It's simply, if stuff doesn't get fixed, it's the same as it was, and how it's been recently just hasn't really warranted me wanting to come back. That's it. That's really all there is to say. I just don't have anywhere to go from this. Video games have gotten so much the competitive / cash grab aspect now, I just don't have fun with them anymore. And even if I was, I don't really have the time or energy to continue on, so... I'll say this, I have some videos pre-recorded, and those will happen. Also say this too, is that... I mean, I have all things considered, decently sized YouTube channel, especially for a GT Sport YouTuber. I know a lot, and I do mean a lot, of GT Sport YouTubers that are smaller than me. Not trying to brag, I feel like everybody deserves quite a big following. Probably a lot deserve a lot bigger YouTube channels than me, just because simply I just don't really edit videos and all that. Again, time and money constraint, but still. And obviously, there's just a simple Team Mopar. I've been running that for 7 years, and the main point of that is to help other people get better, who have the motivation to get better. And I mean, Team Mopar is bigger than I think I can even really think of being the owner and all that. I don't even truly know how big Team Mopar is anymore, and I mean that in a good way. End all be all GT6, which was probably the biggest component, got about 80 or so members. And then in general, if you're subscribed to this channel, I kind of consider honorary Team Mopar, why not? Or just watching videos, or however you want to word it. So, yeah, I mean, I want to keep that up. Just helping other people just makes me feel better too. But that really only comes if there's a thing to do that I'm good enough to truly help people with. The less I actually race in general, just the worse in general I'm gonna get, so the less chance I have of being good enough to truly help people, and then it's just the coin of phrase from Emperor Lemon, a downward spiral. I could do like him too and just switch to something completely different, but the thing with him is he's directly seems to be making profit from that, so can literally just do YouTube as a living instead of as to trying to help other people or general entertainment like I do. Could I attempt to do YouTube as a living, which could kind of cope for the work and all that making me tired, but if the work is the same thing as, well, this, it's not really that much work to begin with, sort of thing. Or it's not really work if you're enjoying it, sort of thing. Honestly, there seems to be maybe 3 or 4 GT Sport main YouTubers I can even make enough to live off from YouTube. And you'll probably know their names. I'm not going to discuss it in particular, but I'll say, well, one lives in a shed, so that probably helps with some funds. And then the other, well, I mean, famous in Japan, but not Japanese, and, well, I'll just say he's pretty super common around the GT community, and then I'm sure there's others who probably don't speak English that are fairly big as well, and just, what I'm saying is that there's people already there, and I don't really want to take away from their audience, and I don't know if I have the ability to ever get an audience like that to begin with, just because so few do. To put it in perspective, I will say this name, Slap Train, came basically from Forza. I mean, he played all the racing games, but mainly Forza. Yeah, he has darn near 2 million subscribers, but most of his videos actually nowadays don't even get more than like 25,000 views. Even the biggest of racing YouTubers just don't get as much audience anymore because YouTube in general is on a downward spiral. Or racing games too, I don't know, but from what I can tell just in general doing this whole video, it seems like I sort of think so. Whether I want to or not, kind of looking like it is. And yeah, again, I could actually jump ship and maybe think of something else, but I don't really know what that is at this point. And I don't know how much leeway I really have to do quote unquote YouTube, really. So essentially, that's kind of it. That's just. Yeah, I've said this in probably 5 or 10 videos now, talking about making videos in the future and numbers gets less and less with time. I'll still think, yeah, I'll make videos, blah, blah, blah. I want to help people, but the means to do so are ever more leaving. In a lot of the ways it's beyond my control. I'll do what I can, but what I can do is, well, what I did in the past is probably better than now. I'll put it that way. And I'll do my best to make it better, but well, I'm aware of some stuff that I'll get to in later that, well, I'll just say is important in sort of kind of changing that. I don't know when I'll get to that type of video. There's honestly some stuff in the real world probably has to get discussed before then too, and that'll be interesting, I'll say that. But for now, well, y'all know I usually end the videos. And that this is probably sort of kind of an ending video. I guess you can look at my whole channel in general as the Yeehaw. And this is just that last 1 second or two that it takes for me to put my finger on the button to end the video. At least the Yeehaw did happen, but we'll put using that analogy, there's kind of nothing left at this point.